Welcome back, viewers. Tonight we're talking about seatbelts and the importance of seatbelts and how they may prevent injuries. Now we've got Anna's mailbag. How are you, Anna?
Very well, thank you, John.
What did you think about the show tonight?
Very interesting. I think those clips really showed the importance of wearing seatbelts.
Yeah, I think they do. And look, they just bring back a lot of memories about those shows, and look, they're very, very graphic. Do you think, Rob?
Yeah, absolutely. And like we said before, it just really illustrates what can happen, and they're very well-made commercials. Yeah,
they are. And look, TAC spend a lot of money on those commercials, and they do go straight down to the point, and that is, look, at the end of the day, you want to prevent injuries, seatbelts are one way to do that.
There's no question, absolutely.
The reality is those commercials will have been made from examples of what the TAC have seen in accidents, so they really reflect the truth about what seatbelts can do.
That's right. Well, now, Anna, let's get to the questions.
Beautiful. The first one comes from Simon in Box Hill. Dear PI Show, my daughter had been on her Ls for around 12 months when she had a minor car accident. There were no injuries, however the driver of the other car viciously abused her after the accident. She was very shaken up and couldn't continue driving. Since that event, my daughter has started having panic attacks, and our doctor has told her that she has developed post-traumatic stress disorder. Are there any TAC rights for us here? It sounds like a difficult situation there, Simon.
Well,
Dawn, is there any information you can offer?
It seems to be a case of road rage, and unfortunately, Rob, road rage cases do not fall within the definitions of a transport accident, so therefore no TAC claim. What do you think, Rob?
None at all.
Yep, I agree. I mean, if there'd been some suggestion that she'd sustained injuries in the accident, then perhaps, there would be a basis for a claim there. But if it's all stemming from the fact that there was an altercation, perhaps there's a victims of crime benefit that might be entitled to that.
If he's charged and convicted with some assault or something along that lines, then yes, there will be a victims of crime. But for the purpose of a transport accident, there has been case law where road rage cases, the vehicle's just a mere platform, so the accident's over, all that's gone, and then it's the after the accident that's relevant, that's caused the injury, and that does not fall, in my view, in the definition of transport accident.
I agree.
Having said that, should get some legal advice and get some more facts out of it as well. Excellent.
Hopefully we've offered some helpful information there, Simon. The next one comes from Tim in Watsonia. Tim writes, Dear PI Show, driving to work a couple of months ago, I was T-boned by a van at an intersection and suffered injuries. I submitted a work cover claim and it has been in the process of being assessed. It has been suggested to me now that this might in fact be a TAC claim and not a work cover incident. Can you shed any light on this situation? Should I submit a TAC claim as well?
That's a pretty interesting one, actually. Look, it really comes down to whether you were in the course of your employment at the time of the accident. People who are bus drivers or employment such as that, obviously the accident happens while they're performing their duties, so that's when the work cover claim applies. You won't be able to have both claims. So we'll have to come back and see what work cover says, and really it will come down to whether you were working at the time or whether you weren't. And if you weren't working at the time, that's when TAC jumps in.
Look, I think, Rob, it appears to be what's called a journey accident, to and from work. If that's the case, to and from work is not a work cover claim. It's not during the course of employment, and that falls under the transport accident. Look, I think if work cover rejects your claim, lodge your claim with TAC.
That's right. And even though if it turns out to be a work cover claim, there are statutory benefits under work cover, there will still be a common law action potentially which the TAC will pick up.
Well, that's right. And what rights do they have, Rob, under the TAC legislation if it's a transport accident?
Well, they have the right, if it's a transport accident, they have right to have their medicals paid for, weekly payments for a period of time, and also lump sum benefits.
And obviously the right to sue if they've sustained a serious injury.
That's right.
Had Tim been driving on a lunch break, would it have changed the situation?
Look, I think it may still fall, no, it will fall under the work cover. If it's an authorised recess, then it will fall under work cover. If it's not an authorised witness recess, then it could be TAC. So I think just wait to see what work cover says.
Well, good luck with the wait, Tim. Hopefully...
But definitely get some legal advice.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. The next one is from Tula in Oakley. Tula writes, Dear PI Show, my elderly father is in a nursing home. He is of unsound mind, having suffered dementia for many years now. He went wandering from the home he's staying in, and was hit by a car at a roundabout nearby. He sustained a fractured pelvis as a result. The driver drove away before Dad was found by passers-by. Is he likely to have a TAC claim? I know from your show that you need negligence in most cases for compensation, but as no one saw the accident, I'd be concerned that Dad may have been in the wrong. What should we do next? That is a tough situation there.
Look, I think that the fact that the driver didn't stop, there is probably a guilty conscience there.
I would think so. I think if there was no fault on the part of the driver, why would they drive off?
Well, exactly. And what you should do in those circumstances, obviously lodge a transport accident claim with the TAC. Straight away, obviously get some legal advice to maybe start investigating. Maybe there were witnesses that we don't know. But it's quite important you do seek legal advice, because if there is what we call unidentified vehicle, Rob, I believe we're supposed to tell the TAC.
That's exactly right. You have to notify the TAC as soon as possible that the driver is unidentified, so that they can do their due diligence on the case.
Yeah, and just interesting, Rob, if you look at that, there's obviously negligence may be an issue, but I would have thought, given that the driver drove off, there is something not right in that regard. Do you think in that case maybe we can look at the nursing home?
Well, potentially, yes. I mean, those nursing homes do have some responsibilities to make sure particularly people of unsound mind are carefully looked after, and if they haven't fulfilled their obligations of looking after the gentleman, then there could be a case there as well.
Well, my understanding is my grandfather was in a nursing home and he made a few runs for it and ran away, and they found him like a couple of hours away. Look, you've got to question, the nursing home has to have some sort of system in place to prevent dementia as well. I think there's no excuse to let him get out like that. But having said that, obviously there's a transport accident involved, lodge a claim with the TAC and get some rights. And there's compensation rights, Rob, again, just for the viewers.
Yep, absolutely. So those compensation rights include the ability to get your medical expenses paid for, your reasonable medical expenses. In this case, I imagine if he's a retiree, he wouldn't have any weekly benefits to payments because he wouldn't have had a job at the time, but he can still get some kind of lump sum benefit and also a common law claim.
That's right. And look, interesting enough, with these type of injuries as well, even if fault was an issue, you've got that lump sum entitlement, which you've got the assessment according to the American Medical Association guidelines, Rob. And generally, as you know, if there's a permanent injury, they do get a lump sum.
That's right.
Just with that, Rob, with the lump sum, does it just include physical injuries, or is it also...
That will include physical injuries, psychological injuries, provided that they stem directly from the accident itself, and also any scarring and disfigurement.
Yeah,
which quite possibly would be the case if you've got
potentially
a fractured pelvis.
Yeah, and look, I think like everything else, you should always get some legal advice, and straight away, because the importance of getting legal advice straight away, we can investigate. They can investigate the claim, look at those factors for you, and also proceed with the claim as quickly as you can.
And there's a bit of homework to do on this case. So.
There's always homework, isn't there?
So, always.
Viewers, thank you for your questions this evening. Please keep sending them in. You can contact us via Twitter, Facebook, or on our website, which is www.thepishow.com.
Thanks, viewers, for watching. Stay tuned for next week. And look, remember, seatbelts do save lives, so do wear them. There's a reason why you've got seatbelts in cars, so wear them. Good night.